there are a number of players who have tested positive, as we said. Among them, Charlie Blackmon, Freddie Freeman. And because of those, we have people who have decided to not play because of those positive test results.
Right. Last year we went through a whole list of guys. Mike Trout, I believe, did opt out, like you'd said. And since then we've had Felix Hernandez.
Last week.
Did I say last year? Sorry, last week.
Yeah, it's okay.
It feels like last year, let's be honest.
It does.
But so we had him opt out, and we had Felix Hernandez opt out, and I'm sure that the Braves are kind of like, oh, okay, because he was on a minor league deal anyway. So they don't need to worry about him in the rotation, which I'm a big Felix fan, but he has had his heyday. Anyway, that's a different discussion. Buster Posey opted out today. It is Friday, July 10th. He opted out today. At least the news came down today. I did not know this, but he and his wife apparently adopted premature twins. So he's got a pretty good reason to not be out and about and risking getting sick or bringing anything home. So
agreed.
Good on him for taking that precaution. I can appreciate that. So
now there's a bunch of players that they didn't test until they reached the United States. There's a bunch of players from the Dominican that didn't get tested on their way off the island.
Right, yeah. It sounded like they sent a charter plane to those guys so they didn't have to fly commercial, which I can appreciate. That makes perfect sense, absolutely.
Yes.
A sterilized airplane. But test those guys before they get on the plane, because if they get here and any of them have it, or one of them has it, they're on the plane together, then there you go.
Yeah.
So I think that was something that was probably overlooked. I mean, how many times this week, Brig, have I texted you and said we're not having a season this year because of
almost every day?
It feels like it. I mean, because you had the delay in the testing results. There were camps that were shut down because of that. These guys getting on the plane that weren't tested. It feels like they have a 100+ page document that has all of these protocols. But there are a lot of things that are being overlooked, and I am afraid there's going to be something really big that was overlooked, and it's going to shut it all down.
Yeah.
So, really nervous.
I agree with you. I'm nervous. I don't want to talk about it. I feel like this is one of those situations where when you have a no-no going, you just button it up. But I don't know. That's the vibe. This carries the same vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It's tough, and it's a little scary. I mean, I know a baseball season isn't that important, but at the same time, the ramifications of the season being shut down is scary. So,
yeah,
keeping a close eye on it. If anybody else is not, that's what we're here for. Keeping an eye on it for you.
Now, listen, I know this wasn't planned, but I have to scold you a little bit.
Okay.
Because baseball season is important.
Well, and it is. In the grand scheme of things, though, there are things that are more important.
Right. No, I recognize that it may be, existentially inconsequential. I'll give you that. But I do believe baseball is important. The season is important. I was talking to a friend of mine tonight, actually, Mike Farnes. He's been a guest on the show. He said, I would give anything to be over we have a minor league club here in town. Uh-huh. He said, I would give anything to be there right now. I'd be there 4 days a week, maybe more. And I said,
I totally agree with that.
I would too. Yeah. With everything that I've had going on in my life, I would kill to go to a ball game and just bask in the peace and the calm and the picnic atmosphere. So that's the only reason I say baseball is... Look, I know we have all this craziness going on. I know these times are scary. I know everybody's worried, and I get it. I do. But at the same time, if we don't have things we can find refuge in, then we will continue to disintegrate and crack as a society and as a community of baseball fans. So that's the only reason I say I think baseball is important. It may be not existentially consequential, but it is important.
And I agree with that. Wilson asks me every single day, because we go out and we go for a drive just to get out of the house because there's nowhere we can go.
That's right.
With where we live, we drive by a spring training facility just about anywhere we go. Anytime we go for a drive, we see a spring training facility, we can see Chase Field from just about anywhere. And Wilson asks me every single time, Dad, when are we going to go to a baseball game? I'm like,
yeah.
Once they start playing and they let us in, we're going to go. Like, we will go at the first opportunity because that's what we're waiting for. You know, I totally agree with you. I'd be there 4 days a week if I could.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, no, I get the importance of... I agree with you on that. That
yeah,
emotionally, stability, it is important. But at the same time, you know, there are other things that we need to get sorted out.
I agree.
Before that's...